facts, and we are going to talk about the United States and some fun facts about it. It will be very interesting to compare the United States with Mexico in this case. I will need you to enhance the conversation about it. Let's read the introduction. Help me, Carla. Let's begin with your reading.
Yes, teacher. 60 fun facts about the USA, the United States, is one of the biggest and most well-known.
What's the name of the country?
The United States.
Much better.
Okay. Is one of the biggest and most well-known countries on earth. From McDonald's to Hollywood movies, American culture has spread far and wide, but the USA is so much more than what you can see in a movie. From its early history to favorite foods and traditions that exist only in America. Here are 60 fun facts about the USA.
That's right. We are not going to cover the 60. We're going to get the ones that are like, I thought it was like more relevant to us. And let's talk about this one over here. Number one, the official name of the USA is the United States of America. It is also referred to as the US, USA, the States, or just America. Okay? When you hear people saying America, my country, they are referring to their place, their location. Let's give opinions about it. Okay? Question number one. Elsie, what are the most common names we give to our country in comparison to the US?
We called Mexico, and the official name is Estados Unidos de México. ¿Verdad?
Not the official name. What happened? Secondary.
Sorry.
Yeah. The official name is Estados Unidos Mexicanos.
No, Estados Unidos, yeah.
We were thinking in English. No problem. In this class, no geography, okay? No political division, no problem. So,
Estados Unidos Mexicanos.
exactly, yes, Estados Unidos Mexicanos. Okay, and what do you think about this difference?
In what sense? No.
In the sense that, for example, American people call their country America, for example. Do you have any opinion on that?
For me, it's wrong because America is all the continent. But maybe they don't think about it. That when they say America is all the continent, not only the US. Like the phrase, make America great again. I remember something like that. And Trump used this phrase only to refer the US, but if he say America is all the continent.
I like it. That is true. Why do you think they do that?
Because they have mental problem.
Okay.
No, it's I don't know, teacher. They have a lot of pride. Is the word pride?
Yes.
Maybe they think that the people from US is the most important people, but not really.
Very good. Okay. The next one. Fact number 2. The US is made up of 50 states and a national government in Washington, D.C. Right? Carlita, what do you think are the problems that come from managing a big country like the USA?
I think the main problems because there are different laws in the different states. So to achieve a big agreement in some specific topics is complicated. Because, for example, the migration problem in some states think with some way and another maybe it's very different, no? So to achieve an agreement in general of the USA, maybe I think it is this. And the other is that maybe there are different I don't know to say. Um, um, no, the priorities for each state, it's depend obviously the problem that they have. And maybe the last one is different I am not sure in English how to say, but partidos políticos or the
Okay.
political is
In English,
different. No?
it's called, in English, they are called political parties.
Political parts. Okay. And I think this okay.
Also party. A political
Okay.
organization that you can vote the nomination for. Political party,
Political party. Okay.
opposition party, ruling party.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So great.
Yes. There are different political parties in so the opinion about how to resolve some problems also is different. So this create that in some moments was not possible to resolve them. No, and that's all.
Nice. Very good. I'm taking notes of what you are saying, eh?
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
the reason I'm not looking at you, but yes, good. Good. Okay. Very interesting political opinions, unpopular opinions. Let's go with Jesse. Jesse. Washington, D.C. is not a state. There is a small movement to make D.C. a state, but it hasn't happened yet. Tell me, what do you think are the main differences between a state and a federal district? Go DC. Have connection problems, right? Okay, Jesse has connection problems. Then the question goes to Mitch. What are the differences between a federal district and a state?
Hmm.
As far as you know, eh? You don't need to research anything. Just as far as you know.
Hmm. I don't know the exact differences, but I think maybe in a state it's or maybe the difference between a state and a federal district, it's in a federal district it's not I don't know how to say the an established territory. I don't know. In a state is I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what is the main difference. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
But
it's not. It's whatever you can imagine. And what opinion do you have on it?
I don't know. Maybe the laws. I don't know really.
Perfect. Then what is your opinion on the differences in this case? Do you think it's easier to have everything as a state? Or do you think it's more difficult?
That's a tricky question, but because I don't know what is the main difference. Maybe if I know the main difference, I can give my opinion. So I think I cannot make an opinion like that because I don't know what is the main differences. Do you know?
There's
I guess you know.
A little.
Can you explain to me, please?
Really quick, I would say that it's more like a management thing. You know, imagine that every territory is a company, okay? And the subdivision and the management from a state constitutionally and the laws that are the constitution and the laws that apply to a state are not the same constitution and laws that apply to a federal district.
Oh,
That's precisely
okay.
the main issue. So the reason, for example, this guy Mancera, Manuel Mancera was his name.
Yes.
He changed the federal district into Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
not only changed the name, he actually changed the way we rule and manage the laws in the territory of the Mexico City. And he created a special constitution for the Mexico City, creating the 32nd state.
Mm-hmm. But I think in some way,
Mhm.
a few laws, it's only to Mexico City.
Yeah.
And that no doesn't apply to like in the other states.
Exactly.
So I think it's that it's a lie. I think it's just a name.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
because for example in the I don't know if it's the name in English, verification of the cars of cars,
Mm,
or I don't know, verificación.
okay. Yes, in the
It
car.
doesn't apply the same way in the state of Mexico
Wait, let me check. How do you call that in English?
and the Mexico City.
Car verification.
Also
Wait a second. I don't know how to say that. I think it's verification, but let me check.
Mhm. Thank you.
It's a verification.
Verification. Okay.
It's verification.
Okay. So it's not the same rules in the state of Mexico than the Mexico City.
Correct.
It's not the same rule. Also applies in the license and other things. I am disagree that in Mexico, it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
The laws are different, so I don't see the difference in between a state and a federal district. That's my opinion.
Perfect.
Now that I know.
Exactly. Now that you know, you can make an opinion. Very good.
Yes.
Nice,
Yes.
very nice. Okay. You 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 touched the point I wanted to touch. Very good. Next. Is your connection fixed? Yes. Can you hear me better? Are you there?
Yes, teacher, it's my cell phone.
That's your cell
Was I connected, sorry, in my cell phone, and it's maybe the microphone of the connection, but in my cell phone.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Okay, no problem. Let's go through the next one. Okay. Americans use Fahrenheit temperature system instead of Celsius. The same way as year formats are established. Day, month, no, month, day, and year. And measurement standards go through yards, feet, and miles. What do you think about the differences of standards that exist in the US compared to our country?
It is confused when you when you are reading, for example, something, and although it isn't in English, the how do you say, the measures are different. For
Okay.
example, but not only in English. It's like, I don't know how to say. For example, the other day I asked to Alexa the weather, and she said in Fahrenheit, and I have
Oh no.
to the convert. Okay, I asked it, but in Celsius, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
And I didn't understood.
Exactly.
But it's confused. Or for example, I like to running. I am in a group of Facebook, and the people, how do you say, loud? The
Mm,
people share.
okay.
I am not sure. How do you say compartir, share?
Share.
Yes, the
What's
people
the
share.
other word? Laugh?
Like not I am loat. It's right.
Load.
Yes, I am not there. Okay.
Load. Or posts.
Yeah, yeah. They post for example their time they spent running, and the time and the distance, and for example it's and for example there are in miles, and I confuse with kilometers. I think it's not only in English, it's in Mexico you can uh, change the measures.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. I have your questions. I have more fun facts, but I would prefer to go directly through our feedback session, because there are some things that you were saying that I would like to cover. For example, let's talk about the difference between, and everybody's doing that, eh? The difference between confuse, confusing, and confused. One of them is a verb, and the others are descriptions. Which one is the verb then?
Confused.
Confused, right?
Yes.
Well, what if I tell you that actually the three are verbs?
Okay.
It was a tricky question. It was a tricky question because technically, confuse is a transitive verb that can, a transitive verb, or some, let's say some transitive verbs can deliver a description, all right, or can be, let's do the opposite one. A description can be derived from a transitive verb. Technically, confusing is the ing form of confuse, and confused is the past and past participle for confuse. But you can transform this into adjectives, and you can use them as adjectives: confusing and confused. The difference between these two words will be the usage of the word. If you say, well, let's go like that. The difference is in the usage. Example. I can't stop confusing the I can't stop confusing my ex with my crush. I can't stop confusing my ex with my crush. A fake story, eh? It's only an example. Here we have two people, ex and my crush, and here we have a clear structure. Can't stop confusing. No, sorry, in this case, confusing is enough. Let's say I am. That's much better. Okay. I am confusing my ex with my crush. Which means, uh-oh, somebody needs therapy. The word I am confusing is together. Therefore, the word confusing is, huh? Anyone? Oh. The word confusing is
Description.
it's no, it's not a description. Because
Transitive.
confusing-
An adjective.
oh my god. And a description is an adjective, it's the same. Everybody's doing the same. The word I am okay. If I tell you I am confusing my ex with my crush right now. Right now in this moment.
Part of the verb.
Exactly. Yes. All these together. It is a verb phrase. Yes. When you use I am doing, I am going, I am establishing, I am practicing, etc., you are technically using the verb. This is equivalent to this. Okay. But if I say it's confusing to it's confusing to have a crush and think about my ex. Again, it's an example, eh? Of course, we have the verb to be. But now the person it is not doing the action. In this case, this is a description of a situation. The second example is part of the formula that we saw the other day with connector 2. Which is this one over here. Adjective 2. It's important to establish agreement. It's amazing to practice English. It's confusing to think about my ex when I have my crush. No, no. In this second case, this is an adjective. Which is a description. Do you see the difference? Or no?
Yes, teacher.
Do you understand the difference? What about yes? What about Carla? What about Mitch?
Teacher, can you repeat the first?
The
I
first.
am confusing.
Mhm.
Why is a phraser, verb phraser?
It's not phraser, it's phrase.
Phrase.
Remember what we saw about phrases the other day?
Yeah, I
You
am
don't remember
thinking in
phrases?
phrase adverb,
No, no, no. Phrasal verbs are
but
different.
it's other.
Yeah. This is very different. A phrase. A phrase
Mhm.
exist in these variations. These colors correspond to single words, adjectives, nouns, verbs, etc. No? But when the verb has many words, it's not only
Okay.
one word, it's many words,
This
it's a phrase.
verb.
So in this case, a verb phrase is a group of words that
Yeah.
comprise the verb. If you say, I am going to the bathroom, what is the verb? Am or going? According to the dictionary, am is a verb,
Yeah.
but going is a verb too. Then which one is the verb? Oh, surprise. Together they are the verb.
Mhm.
The same
Okay.
case happens here. This is a verb.
Okay.
How do you know it's a verb? Because I am doing the action. This person is doing this action.
Okay.
Contrary to this sentence. In this sentence, no person doing an action. You are talking about a situation. You see?
Yes.
That's the reason you cannot say it's confused. Because confuse is a verb. Give me an example with confuse. I can help you. I always confuse my crush with my ex. Very bad example.
I give you other example.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm. My mother confuses my mother confuses between me and my brother.
Eliminate between.
Confuses, but it's my mother confuses my brother and me.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a transitive verb.
Okay.
A transitive verb doesn't need a connector.
Okay.
See?
Okay, I got
All right.
like the the other verbs we check it.
The other verbs that we checked,
Yes.
like turn, go, pass, give, bring, study, teach,
Yes.
etc. Those are transitive verbs.
Okay, okay. I got.
Now you get it. So some of you in this class, girls, some of you confuse the transitive verb with the description. I think the biggest issue is understanding the difference between these two. Because when we are speaking, we confuse the description confused, and the verb confused. Everything is in the context. Let me explain why. If you say, for example, let's talk about another thing and let's go through the difference between these two. We already talked in present. Now let's talk about these two. The ing versus the past participle. Technically, if you use this is passive voice, the section over here can be considered passive. What is the verb in a passive voice sentence? Remember? What is the verb in a passive voice sentence? Anyone?
Be.
Correct. When you use this one over here, we use the verb be. I am confused. I am confused by
My crush.
by my crush. Let's make it more simple because in this case it's going to be confusing. If I use the example of the crush, it's going to be super strange. So let's use by grammar, for example. Okay. Why am I confused? Because grammar is confusing. This means that in the first example, grammar is producing the sensation, is producing the confusion. And on the other side, the focus is in the receiver, not in grammar. This is precisely passive voice. Because we have seen in previous classes how in what occasion do you need to use grammar? No, sorry, in what occasion do you need to use passive voice? Does anybody remember? Let's remember. Well, Jessie passes attendance. Let's check if you remember. Jessie, go girl. Let's
Thank
give
you.
them some moments.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, yes, I was the attendance is here. Jessie, hi Jessie, good night.
Hi, good night.
Thank you. Elsie, hi Elsie. Good night, Elsie.
Hello, good night.
Thank you. Denise, hi Denise. Good night.
Good night, Jessie.
Thank you, Denise. And Mish. Hi Mish. Good night.
Hello, Jessie.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes.
Hi. Thank you, Mish. Good night. So thank you everyone. So a good night and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Very
See you.
See you.
Okay. So what? Oh yeah. In what occasions do you need to use passive voice?
In fact,
Facts.
I remember when the subject is very obvious.
Uh-huh. Or
I don't remember that.
okay, the subject is very obvious. That's one of the three applications. Okay. The other application is when the object it's more important than the other. You're going to change the priority of your idea. The protagonist of your sentence is the object. So the subject goes away. Technically, you use the ed when you are focusing on the receiver. And you use the ing when you are focusing on the producer. Yes. Understand? Easy, difficult?
Mm, confusing.
Mm.
What is the consequence? No,
Okay.
can you repeat?
Okay, I repeat. You use ing when you are focusing on who produces the sensation,
Who?
who or what.
Okay. Yes.
Ing is to describe who or what produces the sensation.
Okay.
And the ed or the past participle is used when you are talking about the person affected. Affect. You see, there is a relation. The person
Yeah.
affected versus the person or the thing producing.
Okay. Okay.
So let's try with it. Passive versus active. Mitch, give me an example with boring versus bored.
Mm.
Boring versus bored.
I am bored
Mhm.
by mm, I don't know, math.
By what?
Math.
By
Maths.
You are bored by what is math?
Matemáticas.
Oh, math. Oh, open your pronunciation more. Mad.
Math.
Uh-huh.
No. Math.
Math sounds very simple. Mad.
Math.
Mathematics.
Math.
Exactly.
Okay.
That makes more sense. Okay, you're bored by math. Okay. And boring? With the same example.
Math is boring.
Math is boring. No problem.
Mhm.
There you have it. Elsie, give me an example with interesting versus interested.
Mm. History
Mhm.
is interesting. Uh, I'm interested. Mm. No,
Yes.
but I'm interested
Mhm.
by history.
Nice. You're interested by history. That's the one. Carlita, give me an example between marrying and married.
Mm, she's married in the second.
Okay, she's married.
She's
Mhm.
married. No, marrying. Um,
This one is difficult because you cannot use marrying as a complement. You
mm,
have to use it in a different position. Remember, in what position can you use a description?
mm, mm. But I'm not sure if it's okay. No, marrying is because I am using marrying like a noun. No,
Correct. Mhm.
I'm not
You
sure
see,
if it's okay.
marrying. Yes, you are
Marrying,
using it as a noun.
yes.
Think about positions. In what position can you use an adjective?
To describe the verb.
The
No,
verb?
describe the noun. So
Correct. And you can use it before a noun.
mhm.
Give me a noun that is used for marrying purposes.
um, noun. Mm,
An object, a thing that
no,
is
I
used for
thinking
marrying
in
purposes.
action. Um,
Think about objects. You need an object because actions are described with purple words. And here we're talking about orange words.
yes, but I am not found the word. Mm,
In, you know,
so sorry, teacher, I didn't get
a ring,
a ring.
a ring,
A ring.
ring.
A ring.
What's the name of the ring?
Mm, is marrying. A ring is marrying. No,
No,
no.
before the noun.
But the noun is
Ring.
ring.
So
No, but I am not. No, marrying.
position.
No. Before the noun will
Uh-huh.
be marrying ring.
Exactly.
But I am
The
not sure how
marrying.
complement. The phrase.
Well, the
Marine ring.
the marrying ring is yellow.
Ah, okay.
Doesn't matter. At the end, the position determines the usage of the word.
Okay.
You see, the
Mhm.
marrying ring, and in this case, marrying is a description.
Okay.
You see.
Mhm.
Finally, Jesse, give me an example between satisfying and satisfied. There,
Yeah,
satisfying versus satisfied.
is satisfying.
Again, can you repeat? What is it?
Running
Running is satisfying. That's correct.
and I am satisfying.
Incorrect.
Satisfied.
Transition.
Satisfied.
You are you are pronouncing an e. You don't say
Sar-
fired. Only one fired.
Satisfied.
Fired. No, satisfied.
Satisfied.
Yeah, and the D.
Satisfied.
Exactly.
I
Satisfied.
am. It could be I am satisfied when I running.
When I am running.
When I am running.
Yes, when I am running or when I run.
Okay.
Study your structures. Sometimes you can use the verb to be, other times you need the verb to be, other times you don't need the verb to be. Check your structures.
Okay.
Okay. Girls, there you have your review for the day. Okay, keep it in mind. I'll see you then tomorrow. And thanks for coming.
See you, teacher.
See you guys.
Thank you. Good night.
See you. Good night.
Excellent, my
Thank
guys.
you.
See
Good
you
night to
later.
all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.